House of Cards is an American political drama web television series created by Beau Willimon. It is an adaptation of the BBC's mini-series of the same name and is based on the novel by Michael Dobbs. The 13-episode first season premiered on February 1, 2013, on the streaming service Netflix. 13-episode seasons followed on February 14, 2014, February 27, 2015, March 4, 2016, and May 30, 2017. Willimon has stated that plans for the show's future are decided after each season 2. Set in 2010's Washington, D.C., House of Cards is the story of Congressman Frank Underwood, Kevin Spacey, a Democrat from South Carolina's 5th Congressional District and House Majority Whip. After being passed over for appointment as Secretary of State, he initiates an elaborate plan to get himself into a position of greater power, aided by his wife, Claire Underwood, Robin Wright. The series deals primarily with themes of ruthless pragmatism, manipulation, and power. House of Cards has received positive reviews and several award nominations. To date, it has received 33 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, including Outstanding Drama Series, Outstanding Lead Actor for Spacey, and Outstanding Lead Actress for Wright. For each of its first 4 seasons, it is the first original online-only web television series to receive major Emmy nominations. 6. The show also earned 8 Golden Globe Award nominations, with Wright winning for Best Actress Television Series Drama in 2014 and Spacey winning for Best Actor Television Series Drama in 2015. Season 1, 2013, edit. Main article, House of Cards, Season 1. Frank Underwood, a power-hungry Democratic congressman from South Carolina and House Majority Whip, celebrates the election of President Garrett Walker, whose campaign he assisted to get himself appointed Secretary of State. However, Underwood soon learns that he is no longer being considered for the position. Chief of Staff Linda Vasquez tells Underwood that the president wants him to promote his agenda in Congress and will not honor their agreement. Inwardly seething, Underwood quickly gains control of his anger and hides his disappointment to present himself as a helpful lieutenant to Walker and his agenda. In reality, Underwood begins an elaborate plan behind the president's back, with the ultimate goal of gaining power for himself. Frank's wife Claire runs an NGO, the Clean Water Initiative, which she uses to cultivate her own power and influence, yet its ultimate purpose remains unknown. Despite the success of the operation, Claire seeks to expand its scope to the international stage, often utilizing Frank's connections to push the organization to new heights. It is clear from the outset that Claire shares both her husband's cold-hearted, ruthless pragmatism and lust for power, and they frequently scheme together to ensure the success of each other's ventures. They both work with Remy Danton, a corporate lobbyist and former Underwood staffer, to secure funds for their operations and expand their influence. Underwood begins a highly intricate plan to obtain a cabinet position, acquiring pawns he can manipulate in his power play. Underwood begins a symbiotic, and ultimately sexual, relationship with Zoe Barnes, an ambitious young political reporter, secretly feeding her damaging stories about his political rivals to sway public opinion as needed. Meanwhile, he manipulates Peter Russo, a troubled alcoholic and congressman from Pennsylvania, into helping him undermine Walker's pick for Secretary of State, Senator Michael Kern. Underwood eventually has Kern replaced with his own choice, Senator Catherine Durant. Underwood also uses Russo in a plot to end a teachers' strike and pass an education bill, which improves Underwood's standing with Walker. Because the new vice president is the former governor of Pennsylvania, a special election is to be held for his successor. Underwood helps Russo get clean and props up his candidacy, but later uses call girl Rachel Posner to break his sobriety and trigger his public downfall shortly before the election. Distraught, Russo decides to make amends for his failure by coming clean to the press about his role in Underwood's schemes. In response, Frank kills Russo by leaving him passed out in a closed garage with Russo's car running, causing him to die of carbon monoxide poisoning. With the special election in chaos, Underwood convinces the vice president to step down and run for his old position of governor, leaving the vice presidency open to Underwood, as was his plan all along. Walker appears to have other plans, however. Underwood ends up vetting a surprising choice for vice president, Missouri billionaire Raymond Tusk. He later finds out that Tusk has been secretly appraising Underwood for vice president and is a longtime advisor and friend of Walker. It was Tusk who convinced Walker to break his original agreement to appoint Underwood. Tusk explains he will influence Walker to nominate Underwood if he agrees to perform one unspecified favor for him that will benefit Tusk's financial interests. Underwood, after some thought, counter-proposes to Tusk that they work together to fulfill both their interests, which Tusk accepts. Meanwhile, after Underwood ends their affair, Zoe begins piecing together clues about Underwood's various plots. The season ends when Underwood is offered the nomination for vice president, which he accepts.